Hey guys, welcome to Vlogsgiving, episode 2. In this video, I'm going to talk about something that actually Amy commented on my first video this morning about how she wanted to see what I kind of am doing now as far as my nutrition and how I am feeling and what my physique is and stuff now that I am not prepping for a competition. And that is something that I have been meaning to do even before I came up with doing Vlogsgiving. And so welcome to that video. I will be completely honest, this is a pretty hard, difficult video for me to make because I am not completely comfortable with the state of my physique right now. I have insecurities, just like most people do, with certain things, not everything. I'm continually working on loving myself and my current form, when I'm not shredded or in the process of getting really lean for a bikini competition. And currently, I don't have plans to compete or even start a prep for a while. I need to be okay and be confident with who I am right now, and that's something that I'm working on. So I'm going to show you a clip, a physique update that I filmed a few minutes ago in my shorts and a sports bra, and I'm basically showing you my body right now as I've never really shown you before. I really questioned whether I want to do this video at all, but because of that fear, I know that I need to face it, that this is really good for me, and that it would be good for some of you who, are battling some of the same insecurities, or not even the same insecurities, but just your insecurities of your own. So, bottom line, we all have insecurities. They've been developed over time, probably even starting from childhood with certain things. And it doesn't have to be a physical trait. An insecurity can even just be like, am I different from other people? And that's why I think that this video is so important for me to put out there, because I've asked myself that too. I am trying to work on things always. I'm very introspective, and I'm gonna try to give you some application for how you start to love yourself better and to see past these insecurities and kind of, face them. And you don't have to make a YouTube video about it to do that. However, I think this is therapeutic for me. Alright guys, I hope you can see this, but I want to show you what I look like right now. So my shape is very straight. I might be a little bit pear-shaped or bottom-heavy, but in general, I definitely don't have an hourglass shape, and I never have. My shoulders and my hips are about the same, and I'm pretty straight, so I like to call this SpongeBob square bod. SpongeBob square body. Now these are pulled up. Let me pull them down a little bit. So I hold, let me turn this way. I hold extra skin and fat on my lower abdomen. It's always where it's been, even when I'm at my leanest. I don't know if you can see this in the mirror. It's where I have my stretch marks, which are basically from my first pregnancy with my son, where I gained the most weight. Can you see those? And I also have some on my legs, all the way up there. Down my left leg, I have a vein, if you can see it, that protrudes. It kind of swirls. It's pretty, if you touch it, it does protrude out of my leg. You can feel it. And it's kind of greenish, bluish there. I've got some cellulite, I'm sure, especially at this weight. Sorry about the shakiness in the last clip. This one's a lot more steady since I set the camera down. I wanted to tell you a little bit about what I did after my show that has made my physique basically look like this. For the first 10 weeks post-show, I did a very strict reverse diet. And I started with my calories really low. Even though my metabolism probably slowed down as my body adapted throughout my prep, I was still eating too low once my competition was over. I should have jumped up to at least like my high carb day and started reversing from there, but I didn't. And I slowly increased them over the next several weeks. Since they were still significantly low, the treats that I had, and then I also had a couple of binges within there in which I went way beyond what I should have been eating. And that was more of a mental struggle. And this is why I wish I would had jumped up initially in my reverse diet so that mentally, I think that would have helped me a lot better. After those 10 weeks, I had gained some weight, but not a lot. And I know that it was a much better place for my body to be in when I competed. I was about 118 pounds this last competition, and after those 10 weeks, I would say like 124 pounds. And so that was a good 6-pound difference, but I know that that was a healthy spot and I still looked really good. At that point, which was like the end of August, the beginning of September, I decided to try intuitive eating. I'd been tracking my macros for a long time, and I thought I had a good handle on knowing my portion sizes and what exactly were in them as far as macros. Basically, I determined after a little while that I have the intuition of a man, and even my husband says, well, you've always kind of eaten like a man. So I definitely overeat, which was opposite of what I thought would happen. I thought that I would actually undereat, and it was a huge fail. I wanted to be able to do that because I knew that I wanted to be a little looser and less strict. My birthday was in September, my anniversary was in September, and then we went on vacation at the beginning of October. So at that point, I was not in a reverse diet anymore. I was way overeating and in quite a substantial bulk as far as calories go, even though I was working out hard and trying to put those to work. Through the end of September and the month of October, I put on about another 10 pounds pretty rapidly, which was not what I wanted to do, and that brings me to where I am today. So what's next for me? Because clearly I'm not completely happy with where I currently am. I did go back to tracking macros. I'm still eating a lot higher macros than I was at the end of my prep and even throughout my reverse diet. I do feel a lot better. I think that mentally I'm not having really any issues anymore. And since I've started tracking again, I did actually drop a few pounds just as I got into the swing of things. But I am not trying to get super lean. I know in the long run, eating more and working hard in the gym is going to put me in a better position for when I am ready to prep again in either 2018 or 2019. So for now, I've got to get comfortable with being a little uncomfortable. So as I discussed earlier, we all have insecurities. Right now I'm dealing with some a little more than I usually do because of the position and the state of my physique that I'm in. So how do you deal with these? What's some applicable steps? Well, first you've got to recognize this kind of critical inner voice, because this is where your insecurity is coming from. So I will give you an example. Most of the time, right, it is a second person pronoun that you're hearing from your inner voice. So for example, you are fat is what you are telling yourself, or your inner voice is telling you. So an example of something that I've dealt with, that I've heard and have told myself, is you will not hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of 2017. And then your second step is to recognize where this comes from. So this actually came from a random person that I do not know and who does not know me, who commented this on one of my videos. Once you're able to do that, you can move on to step 3 and respond. So this is where you change that you statement, that second person statement, into a first person statement. So my response might be, I can do it. It will take a lot of work, including filming, editing, creating new and interesting content. But if I put in the work and I want it bad enough, I will make it happen. So you're responding to your own critical voice, now using the pronoun I. The fourth thing that you should do is understand how that inner voice, how that comment fuels your behavior. So honestly, that insecurity and that inner voice telling me that I will not accomplish this goal is one of the reasons that there have been long periods this year where I have not uploaded a video. I either haven't picked up my camera at all, or a lot of the time I've filmed a lot of material, but then decided that it wasn't good enough to upload. And so it's been holding me back throughout 2017. And I finally just kind of got a handle on it and was like, I want this bad enough. I set this goal for myself and I am going to achieve it. The very last thing that you have to do is to just change your behavior. Don't focus on the negative things. Concentrate on the statement that you responded with, that you can do it. But be realistic, and notice that when I wrote my statement, I wrote it will take a lot of work, including all of these things, so that you realize and are very real with yourself that it still may be hard, but that you can do it. You can put in whatever the work is. You can look at yourself in a better light. You can focus on the positives, and that's going to take away a lot from the negative. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tomorrow's Vlogsgiving episode 3 is going to have a cool recipe and the first giveaway of Vlogsgiving. So stay tuned for that one, and I'll see you in the next video.